Hello, Audra Lambert here, and for those of you who do not know me, I'm a realtor who specializes in buying and selling homes in Orange County, California. And today I'm going to talk to you about as-is condition and what the California purchase contract specifies when you hand over possession to that new home buyer or even your landlord. So it's going to be a good one. Okay, so you are about to hand over possession, whether you're a tenant or whether you are a seller. You're about to hand over possession, and what kind of condition should the property be in? So for those of you who live in California, if you look at RPA section 7B, and RPA stands for Residential Purchase Agreement, which is the purchase offer. And if you look at 7B, which I'll put it on the screen for you right now, and let's read it together, okay? So it says here on 7B, unless otherwise agreed, the property shall be delivered in as-is condition in its present physical condition as the date of acceptance. That's the operative word there, acceptance. And what does acceptance mean? Acceptance means when the buyer and seller have signed an agreement and they both agree to go into escrow. And usually during that time, that's when the property is in its best condition. And they will go back and look at MLS photos if there's any discrepancies or any issues with what as-is condition is. But typically the time of acceptance is when the property is in its best condition, right? So let's continue. The property, including pool, spa, landscape, grounds, is to be maintained in substantially the same condition as of the date of acceptance. There's that word again, acceptance. And all debris and personal property not included in the sale shall be removed by close of escrow or at the time possession is delivered to buyer. Sometimes there's a few days after you close escrow, but anyway, the time of possession, meaning when you hand the keys over to that new homeowner or when you hand your keys over to that landlord, this property should be clear of debris and should be in good condition. If there are items not removed when possession is delivered to buyer, all items shall be deemed abandoned. Buyer, after first delivering to seller written notice to remove items within 3 days, may pay to have such items removed or disposed, and it may bring legal action. Okay, so pretty much what this is saying is during the time you are negotiating and an offer is accepted, that is the condition in the property that the buyer is expecting. And I can't tell you how many times a buyer will come in at the walkthrough and the house looks like a war zone. Like, you know, there's dirt everywhere, there's fuzzy buzzies that came out underneath a carpet, the landscaping, the grass has been neglected. That's not good. So you need to make sure that the property is handed over in the same condition as during acceptance. And once again, you can go look at MLS photos to see how beautiful the property was, right? There's a lot of things that the homeowner doesn't know and didn't disclose, because when you move that couch or that bed, there might be stains under the carpet. I mean, those are things that are, you know, you just deal with. But I can't tell you how many times I'm about to close escrow and my sellers call and say, well, I'm not cleaning the property. You know, it says that everything's sold as is. Well, yeah, but when they signed that acceptance and when they accepted the offer and you guys went into escrow, you didn't have, you know, 45 movers in here. You didn't have just kids and final parties and lack of services being provided. So please understand the importance of this video is to say, don't skimp on making sure that your property is in the same condition or reasonable condition that the buyer is expecting. Okay, so let's make sure we're clear on this. According to this contract in 7B of the purchase agreement, it states that the buyer can give the seller 3 days written notice after they take possession to remove certain items at the property. So for example, if your trash cans are overflowing, meaning the seller left, you know, just a ton of debris on the side yard and a bunch of junk, or their trash cans are completely overflowing, that's not what the expectation is when you hand over possession. Technically, the buyer can give the seller 3 days notice to get that removed, and if they don't, the buyer can hire someone to remove that and charge the seller. And if the seller refuses, then obviously they can take legal action, go to small claims court. Really depends on the price or the amount of the removal. Like I've in some instances have seen people leave their jacuzzis, those stand-up jacuzzis, you know, above ground jacuzzis, and in the contract they specifically said no, it has to be removed. And the homeowner was like, nope, not doing it, you know, and, you know, got a little messy. So it is important to understand this as-is condition. You can always call me if you have questions. If you found this video interesting, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.